Introducing the all-new BYD Sea Lion 7, the luxury electric SUV that's changing the game. Book your free test drive today at the BYD showroom in Sheffield.
Dr. Steelhammer, Vladimir Klitschko, and Dr. Iron Fist, Vitaly Klitschko, Shannon the Cannon Brigg, and Butterbean, Cruiserweight King Jai Opetaia.
Boxing King Media powered by BYD. Brad Goldsmith. I was actually going to introduce you as Dominic Ingle trained Brad Goldsmith because not many people have heard of many fighters right now who Dom's actually training. But Brad, your first big stage fight, is that a fair comment?
Yeah, it's pretty fair to say. It's my first time really in front of this many cameras. The big stage, of course, behind me. You know, live press conference, public workout, all that kind of stuff. But something I'm enjoying and. You know, a constant smile on my face.
There'll be a lot of people out there watching this right now saying, who's this guy, where's he popped out from? So obviously I know you pretty well. I know you've got built up a good undefeated record. You've kind of been building yourself like kind of low key. So just tell them a little, the fans who are watching you for the first time, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Bradley Goldsmith, 26 years of age, decorated amateur, currently...
What's your nickname?
I haven't got one yet. I've kind of just kept it simple and just used my name, really. 12-0 as a pro, 8 knockouts, southpaw, but I can switch if I need to. Trained at the world-famous INGLE gym by Dominic and Luca INGLE. Jesus Christ, INGLE. Yeah, and you can expect a good show from myself on Sunday evening, and I can't wait to capture my first title.
Fair play, and it's a central area. Middleweight title. Midlands area. Yeah, Central's up north, innit?
Yeah, that's just where I train. Obviously, I train in the Central area, but originally from Coventry. Had my whole pro career so far, obviously under Dom up in Sheffield. I've been living there for probably 3 years now and climatised to the Sheffield hills. And yeah, things are good.
Stuff. Why Dominic Ingle? Because I know you're very popular around here. You could probably base yourself around here. Why did you choose the Ingle gym?
To be honest, the common trend in Coventry with boxers that were on like a good trajectory anyway, they'd get to a certain point and they'd all fall off or start hanging around with the wrong people, mixing around the wrong crowds and that kind of stuff. And realistically, I knew within myself I had to get away, take myself out of my comfort zone. And fortunately, through a friend who put me in touch with Dom, I went up. I remember my first time in the gym, I walked in. One of the first words Dom said to me is, "Have you got your sparring gear?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Right, get gloved up, gear on." And I did 4 rounds with Bradley Skeet, and the rest is history after that, really. It's just, I've come on leaps and bounds, and as I said, settled in well. And yeah, just loving it, mate.
I know Dom's been very protective about, and does John manage you as well?
Yeah.
John, so I know they've been protective about kind of unleashing you to the wider public. Why is this the right time?
Do you know what it is? And it's something that Dom's always said and stood on. You know, boxing's about trusting the process. You've just got to ride with it, you know. And for me, I'm very fortunate in the fact I've got people advising me and training me who are very, very experienced in the game. So I'm privileged on that front. And I said to Dom, you know, the other day, when it comes to anything involved in boxing, you like, they're the ones who know what they're talking about, not necessarily me. You know, I'm still young in the game, and as I said, I'm privileged to get taught or shown the way by these guys, and I'm on the right track. Look, I'm here now, everything for a reason, and when I say this is the right step that I need at the right point in my career, it is.
Good stuff, man. And also, you mentioned that you called him Luca Ingle. Luca, you've never been on camera, but I'm going to just throw you into the frame now. Yeah, Luca's normally sat backstage on the podcast, putting his 2 pence in all the time, and I have to always correct him. So, Luca, well, you've been in the corner before because I know you train the amateurs as well. So, just tell us initially, what's your relation to Dom? Are you guys related? Because people are going to be watching you now thinking, who's this guy?
So Dom is my uncle. The old school ones will know my daddy. His name's John Ingle. All the old school trainers, if you know John Ingle, they know John Ingle. So yeah, that's it really.
And family legacy, you want to jump into training as well? You don't want to go down the boxing route? Why training?
It's always been training. I'm saying that, quite frankly, it was the only option for me really. I never got else. It was always take him on pads. Then before you know it, I'm doing a lot of work with Brad. We've got a few other pros at minute, so just busy with them at minute.
How old are you? Because your age is quite. I'm going to make people guess how old you are, but then now you're going to tell us.
Well, it's funny you say that because this morning I was getting my hair cut and they went, how old are you, pal? And I went, oh, I'm only 19. And they went, what? I thought you were 25, mate. I was like, no, I'm only 19. So yeah, I'm 19 years old.
And obviously you work with Brad as well. You know, yourself and Dom are, you know, been kind of guiding his journey. So tell the fans out there how good is Brad Goldsmith and what can they expect?
Just tune in on Sunday night and you will see. I'm saying that the kids he's been boxing, he has not been able to show the talent, but this camp, the kids he's been sparring, good kids, and the level he's been showing is just very good. So you just got to tune in and watch, and you will see, because it'll be a good statement made on Sunday night.
Brad, there's a good chance you could probably end up changing your putting INGLE in somewhere in your name here. Brad INGLE Goldsmith. It's got a good ring to it. You know, you got his uncle Dom, Luca training you, and obviously his dad John guiding you management-wise. What's it like being surrounded by so many INGLEs? Because they're very opinionated people. They believe everything they say. So how are you kind of mixing in with all that?
To be fair, excuse me, it took me quite a while to probably truly half understand Dom and, you know, John, and I'm a bit of an overthinker, worrier, but these guys balance that out and like level me out essentially. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that would, you know, love to sit down and have an hour with Dom or John, you know, ask questions, tell stories, listen to stories. So I'm very fortunate in the fact that I get that near enough every day. Obviously up in the gym, outside the gym, going to the gym, that kind of stuff. So they've taught me a lot. I've learned a lot from the guys, and the relationship that we've got. It's in the gym, it's obviously boxer and coach. Outside the gym, you know, friends. And like I say, when it comes to getting the business done, these guys back me, and I back myself 100%.
There'll be people out there saying, I know you've got a 19-year-old who's going to be part of your training team. So tell them, obviously age-wise is 19, but I've known Luca for like 7-8 years now, so I know the age is just a number when it comes to Luca's problem, because he's been brought up around his dad who's a boxing nut, and obviously his uncle who knows everything there is to know.
Well, like you say, the normal child getting brought up would probably get took to the park or, you know, took out for the day or something like that. I dare say Luca was getting took to some of the biggest, you know, boxing shows that the UK's seen, and he's obviously been in and around boxing, I'd say, since birth. So it's not the case of he's just picked this up overnight and he's thought he wanted to give it a go. It's almost like boxing's in his blood, and that shows with the work that he puts in with me in the gym. Obviously, you know, learning alongside Dom as well. So yeah, it's a good journey. We're both enjoying it. It's his first fight week, my first fight week. You know, smiles all round. So yeah, it's all good, mate.
Luca, can you share any embarrassing stories about Brad? If we get straight to the point, there must be something about him away from boxing.
Just saying, probably just getting you the second name wrong on here.
Just fucking.
Is there one?
Saying sentences that just don't make sense. That's about it, really. Well, fucking.
That's most boxers, innit?
Well, yeah.
Not thinking before at all.
Yeah, just slurring and going, what have you actually just said there, Brad? And he doesn't even know, to be fair. One of them ones. We're a long way down from Sheffield to Birmingham for me yesterday, having to listen to that for an hour and a half. It was difficult.
Any stories about Luca?
I would love nothing more than to be able to say something funny or give you something like a bit of clickbait. But
what about his uncle or dad? Have you ever seen them bollock him?
Dom shouted at me last week.
Yeah, I'd probably say when his mouth runs away with him a little bit, you know, Dom will be quick to put him in his place, as he does with anyone. But you know, probably more so because he's family, so he can be a bit more stern, a bit more spite in the telling off. But apart from that, it's just, I'd say he's normal. But are we the weird ones, and people are? Do you know what I mean? So you never know.
Is he as opinionated as the family legacy? Even his granddad. I mean, he comes from a mad boxing lineage. Brendan INGLE talked and said what he thought. Even his great granddad, who I know a lot about that as well. He was a boxing man as well.
I think he's going that way. The older and the wiser he's getting, it's definitely going that way. But nah, it's all good fun. We all have a good crack together, and yeah, there's no complaints.
Last question before we got to start the presser. Prediction for the main event, Brad. You first. Who's winning? Ben Whittaker, Liam Cameron.
I'm torn. I'm going to sit on the fence because I know both guys. To me, it's whoever turns up on the night, but it's a good fight regardless.
Luca?
One thing about Ben Whittaker, a lot of people think he's arrogant and this and that, but when you sit down and you watch him, the ability of Ben Whittaker is very, very good. But I love Liam Cameron. I'm saying I was sat with him last night and for an hour, and the guy is just so funny, you know. And I just wish Liam the best. And to be honest, I hope he does it for his family, top and bottom. I'm saying Ben can come back, but Liam, his time is now, kind of thing.
Both sitting on the fence, Brad Goldsmith, Luca Ingle. Thank you for your time, and I'll catch you Saturday. All the best.